All right. Hello, everyone. Sorry for the delay. We just test the sound again, like we always do. Sounds good. All right. So today we're going to fix a couple of things, and then we're going to move on with the next part of the pathfinding. But I did a couple of things last night after the stream, and just want to show you how far we got now. So, so one thing to notice is that I added these numbers back. I think maybe I did that during the stream. Now, if you hover over a road, um, it's going to light up like this. We can do it like this, and then each path is lighted up like this. Okay, great. Give me 1 second. And as you can see, there's still couple of errors with this. Every single one of these are supposed to say one, but these two say zero. So there has been some issues with in terms of assigning the nodes to each other correctly, and uh, that might as well. Let me see here. Yeah, I wanted to be able to see the chat, and it apparently didn't work on my OBS. Not that I expect anybody to say anything, but okay. So so we need to ensure that let's just start from the scratch. So we need to ensure that all the nodes are attached or have the right nodes in at all times. And that also, and then we also need to do another thing, which is I can show you again if you just reset here. So if we do like this and then we click here, you can see here it does not properly separate here. I think it's because of the temporary solution I did earlier. And then now we need to go back and rebuild that function properly. So we will start today in the road builder. Okay, and we will do like this. So this basically in here is all the functionality. Right? We said this many times. This is yeah. All right. Sorry, it's a bit slow start today, but we are figuring it out. So I have a notepad. Let me just write agenda. Today's agenda. Okay, cool. So today's agenda is fix all nodes with road references. Yeah. save it. Then fix create row from middle of the row. Right, so there's a problem with like T section, right? I think that's what they call it. Um, so fix create row from middle of other rows. All right, but I can show you that we have a pretty good solution, I believe, when it comes to the civilians. I think I did something that is pretty interesting. So let's see here. So I'm pointing towards the node it's going to, and then its target node. Okay. Okay, and then it goes there, and then it glitches out. That's right. And then it glitches out there as well. Okay, so that could be a. Okay, and then finish simple path finding. So as anyone who saw the last video or stream, um, they will know that did a we were supposed to do this A star algorithm, and we just ended up doing a simpler one, but we can in fact extend that algorithm to do the A star, and we're doing something similar now. So you can see here the way we're doing this is the road length and the distance. That is the new the that's the loss, you can say. Basically, the total distance that it would have to go to, and then it would find the smallest one and then return. Um, but I'm getting ahead of myself now. So the first is to fix all nodes with road references. And we saw, for example, with the intersections. Let's see here. So let's just make a single intersection like this. Here's a 0 and 0. So clearly not being assigned properly at a intersection. Let me see here. So this is just an intersection with 1. So it's up here. Then we look here. Let's see here. We create the roads. Let's see. So we create. So, okay. Let's just see again. The split now. We need to have a proper description. So this is the one that creates. That's right. I was doing some things in here last night to try and get the nodes properly in. Hmm. So here we deleted. We deleted from the node, but it's actually not in here. The problem is I think this works, but the problem is actually the other way around. So when we do in fact create the road, we do not with with these two segments, we do not push them to the nodes. So we create them, but we never push them, and that's what happens here. We do that here, not up here, right? So these two have to be put. And instead of new road, we will have from start node to intersection node. So that's obviously this one, and then this is obviously this one. Okay, so let's see now if at least that part has been fixed. Now it says 1. So again, to repeat, 1 here means that there is attached one road segment to this part here. And now this here is not properly updated because I would assume that this would have to say 4, right? So we'll look into that. And so at the split node, we attach in the split node function. Let's say we do this example again here. So at the split node function, these nodes stay and they attach the new node here and this one here. But these two are not attached to the node in here. Okay. So let's try and do that. And another thing I would like to write down before I forget is a change to map. Because if we just have IDs, we don't need indices. If that is the case, at least, unless we want to order them in some way. But so far, we don't really need that. And I believe that this is significantly better, if more efficient, if when you start scaling, right? So that's definitely something to consider. Good. So the next step is then to have the intersection node here, right? So with it, we need to copy. We basically can just copy this. It's fine. Then we take intersection node, and then we can just add both of these to the one, right? Let's see here. And now it definitely says 4. And most things work, but this, for example, does not work. But I think this works. No, this doesn't. So making T sections in general does not work, and I believe it's because we have set that snapping threshold. So when we were within that, then it just doesn't allow for it, and that's of course not what we want. And at the same time, it solves some other janky issues that we have. Um, but so these right here have to go. Okay. Uh, so let's start by just commenting them out. Okay. They belong to these, right? Um, yeah, so see, this is not going to be very good. I'm afraid of this, but okay, let's just try doing it for now. And then we can comment on this. Okay. Yes, I believe this should work. So this one is attached to this one here. Exactly. Very good. So Let's see if it gets very janky. Indeed, it does. We have all kinds of things going on in here. So what we're going to do instead, if there's intersection point count, right? If equal to one, which I would assume that was the case there, right? Does it say intersection point count? Yeah, it says one point count here, right? And there's a problem there because of now we remove this. But I actually think that this is what we should do instead. But I want to have a different condition. So var is um, is true intersection. Let's just say that. And let's just say it's a true for now, okay? And we're not going to check for distance anymore. We're going to say so. Um, yeah, there we go. So if blah 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 blah, all of this replaced with if is true intersection. Yes. And then of course this doesn't work, but then we can just put this back in here. Okay, and then we can now uh, change what we define as a proper intersection. We can do that up here before we do anything. So we can start by saying there's one intersection, right? And then we can just say if so the collision road is here. So if the collision road, well, we can actually just say if let's say let's just say it like this. So if it is, so it's true intersection if there is no snapping node. If there is a snapping node, we will do something else. But that will be the first condition right now. So we have separated the roads now. I believe we're making one too many roads in here. That's okay for now. Let's try and do this. These things still work as they should. And now they work well again as these normal ones have good. If you do like this, it snaps them correctly, but it adds an extra road inside here, an extra node and a road here. So that's obviously not good. Okay. So let's say here, if in snap node, so there was the dog barking. All right. So if this is the case, right? Or if it's not equal to this, then and then say Hmm. And if collision, so we're just gonna write it like this: if collision road in the road we snap to ignore intersection. Okay, so if we have the end node, and then we say if end snap node dot rows, and then we can say like this: if array contains, and then we say collision road. Excuse me. If array contains the collision road, right? Then then we set is true intersection equals to false. It's pretty simple. It's pretty much it. Let's see now. So this should work, and let's try and do it with this works, but this also worked before. This still does not work, but okay. So we agree that this works, but we still have problems with T sections. Okay. So what happens now when we so that's but we need to have this root. Actually, when we okay, it doesn't matter. So we do like this. It's just building one too many rows. Okay. Oh yeah, and then we can actually make a specific because there's a difference between, of course, having difference between having a cross intersection and a T intersection, and so I think you should set that in here. So this happens because when we make cross intersections, well, it can happen at both one or more intersections, but we can just copy the code down here for more. Okay. And so what we can do is we can actually already up here, and then we'll say here it would want to create an end node, right? So when we create here, we create the intersection node. Yeah. And then we want to create this, and then we'll create a cross intersection, then we build this, and then we have to separate these two as well. That's fine. Then let me see here. Then we can okay, so this is the split row. These are the split rows, new rows, and it actually is the one here. Okay. Yes, exactly. So this is actually the problem with itself. So then we need to add new functionality to this. we say if cross section creates, okay, and then if T section create for 3. And I think what we can do is we can take the solution and so we can reduce this or simplify the solution to only do a T section, and then we can extend that solution itself actually. But we of course keep everything in here, okay? But we can effectively just say we have this intersection node, right? We have the new two split rows, okay? Then we have the first row segment should be set. We should make the first row segment, which we put up here. Yeah. I don't know if they call it section or an T intersection. I guess so. I don't know. And so down here, we want to take this one. I'll take it up here. So we want to separate them for now into two different sections, and then this will not happen unless you know. And it's actually, I think it's pretty simple, and to say that this is if the mouse, if we're touching, are touching a mouse, touching, we're touching a road, okay, and is it in here that we're actually doing it in here? So in road network, I think this is a pretty not very good solution, but we'll just run with it for now. We can change it later. So we'll remove this now. Okay. And then we say here, if um, yeah, so this out here is about the if collision road, or if, I mean, we can do it in many different ways, but we can also just, let's do let's do it in the way that I said. If public road network dot road selected is equal to this, right? Then we do all this. Or perhaps there's a better way. No, I think actually we have to copy paste all of this. But let's see here. Yeah, so this is T intersection. Okay, let me say else. Let me set this in here. Alright. We can now we have to move this out completely. Alright. Let me put this comment in here. Alright. So a couple of things are going to be so this as well has to be put back in. And of course this. Okay, so let's just try to make this a bit neat. Okay. So up here we split the roads and we create a road segment to the intersection node, and that's all good. But we also need to do one more thing, which is to say uh, to create the end node. Okay, to destroy the end node. Yeah, and there we go. Just I don't know if there's anything, but I think this is the cleaner version. And I think effectively what we can do here is to say now it works beautifully. Okay, you know what if you do like this? Yeah, it's not perfect yet. Okay, and that's going because that's going to happen in here. So now when we're going to set the what is that called? Now if we're going to set to click on the thing here, so all right, great. Sorry for a second, I just got a message. So the next part is what do we do? Here we say is what do we even call this? I guess yeah, we guess we say is t intersection is equal to so if we are already holding our um, and so it's equal to that was selected. I guess that's the way to calculate the t intersection, right? In this way at least. So let me just see here again. So this works now, but we cannot build from there. Okay. So we actually already up here have to say if is t intersection else, I guess. So if it is a t intersection, then we're gonna calculate. Then we're gonna find. I guess we're gonna have to calculate the spot already, right? And we have to snap our. See already here. I guess we can just set it down here instead. So we need to, here we're drawing, okay, so there, the intersection point is still very valid. And so, hmm, let's say start node x is equal to, um, I guess this, yeah, let me just make sure. Oh, bro. Uh, hmm, okay, so we are in like a kind of weird pickle here. I mean, we can we can copy paste all of this, put it in the step of it, but we can also, because it's not calculated yet, right at the creation. But that doesn't really matter. We can actually just in here instead. Yeah, we don't need to set that in here. That's fine. We can, so let's see. Here, if there's a intersection, we calculate, right? And so we can say something in here about the, so if intersection point is exactly 1, I guess we can actually do that. Let's see. I think maybe this will like block itself out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you see, this is so like it's using it like in a, hmm. And see, the problem is then you would have to, go up. So then, like the problem is that we're calculating these at the same time, basically. And then if we were to not do that, then we would have to split the road first. Like as soon as we click on it, I can show you. Like as soon as we click on it, we would have to split the road, like right here, right? Before, now it's going to bug out again, but right there we would have to split the road first. And then if we just go away, then we have just made a node for no reason. And I mean, I guess we can ask ourselves, is that something that we want? Um, maybe. So that we can just click on and then have a node there. Hmm. Actually, that's not a bad idea now that I'm thinking about it. So we would just, as soon as we click on the road, So if is T intersection, then we create the thing there, and then we just set it there. That's a pretty interesting situation. Let's destroy this, delete this, and then we have the snap node, so we can just. It's an interesting idea that actually I think might work. So if it's T intersection, then we have to figure out exactly where that is in a simpler, because so here, right, it will be for four rods colliding. We only need, so it will effectively just be, so it's T intersection. I guess we just create a node at the where the mouth is. Yeah, yeah, I guess we just create a new node. Uh, hmm. Um, I mean, yeah, this is not going to split the road immediately, clearly. And so there are still some issues with that. But that's okay. Uh, wait, what? Let me see here. What? So it's supposed to. Let me try and see here. Okay, so I mean that should work in itself, but we can. Why does that not work? Hmm, I see. Well, how did I describe it in here? Is I mean, yeah, we're not going to use this T intersection after all. Okay. But I'm surprised that it doesn't work at all. As soon as I click on it, it's because of something. I mean, does it even matter? Hmm. Let's try and do the splitting as well. Uh, new oh, split row, row to split. This this one, right? And the no itself is this one. Yes. I mean this. So this works. Oh, okay. So it does work. Oh, cool. It's just because it doesn't draw properly. Haha. It doesn't draw properly. That's cool though. Okay, so what's going on here? But I don't understand. Why doesn't it draw? Should draw everything. Okay, that's not that's weird. Okay, there's probably some weird stuff going on in here. Maybe it's because we're still doing some weird stuff in here. Oh, yep, my bad. These had to be removed again. I don't think we have anything else that's weird in here. Pretty sure that solves our entire problem. So, well, almost, I guess. What? Okay, so that's a normal cross intersection. Okay, right. So that's all good. Wouldn't it confirm that it is a that the, you see here, it does create a new row there. It pushes them. So I haven't even touched this today. And what did I just what did I change something that horribly? I mean, I guess it's something to do. Let's try and see. So normal, so this works, and it actually works. So why is it not being drawn? Yeah. I guess when we do something, yeah, we are not, you know, in here we're not adding them properly, so they're not getting drawn. That's why. Uh, so here, but in split road, right? Let's just see again. Does in split road does it actually push it to the? It does. Okay. If making a making a T intersection at the end node. Yeah, and this in here is like is making T intersection at start node. Right. And I think it makes sense because we might later on want to like be able to destroy nodes again by like manually. But so now this works. Oh, it actually just fully worked. I don't. Oh, but this still doesn't work. Okay. Okay. But it's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting. So we're not. There's something we're not properly pushing. Oh, we're not. We never did this. Or what? I guess we forgot to. That's pretty important. There we go. That should do the trick. Yes. Now we can create an intersection with there and there. What? That's awesome. Okay, okay, okay. That's pretty cool. So let me just sit back now and enjoy it. Let's put in a. Let's see how well this works. This now has test of 4. Hmm. Okay, great. I mean, then we can start glitching a lot. So I believe these two are completed. And so the next step would be, to finish simple pathfinding. And I'll just, let's do that. Let's just go straight to that. So let's go back into the vehicle pedestrian. He has this is basically the entire pathfinding right now. But of course, well, obviously I'm doing something wrong, so we're going to change it. So what's going to happen right now? Give me 1 second. So what is next step? Let's see how fast this works. Okay, nice. That works pretty well. Great. So we have a target and a sub-target. So we have the final target. Okay. The final target is set by another object, and it's going to be set as the node. On the node is underneath the house node, right? Underneath the house. So the node is underneath the house that's being created now. Okay. And so the sub-target is initially the nearest node to 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 themselves, to where they're created. Okay. Then I'm making all kinds of weird stuff in here, but let's just redo it, okay? Sub-targets and targets are nodes, okay? If there's no target at all, we don't do anything. That's very good. If there's no sub-target, this is a pretty simple function. I will remove this part, okay? So then we go down here. If if sub-target is equal to target, this is down here, I guess we set it. Okay, then I think that makes more sense. Let's try to run that. Now we can start looking at the pathfinder itself. Okay, boop. Let's see here. So you can see it's pointing to the white line is towards his final node, then it goes there, and then it goes there. Okay. So the question is, so you can see it starts bugging out with these black and white colors. It shouldn't exist. But let's try to see. The question is again, is bugging out just after the first one? And I think the answer to that is yes. So when the first one here, it doesn't know how to properly set. So the current, hmm, so the current node is getting set to the subtarget. Yeah. And then we set the subtarget to the -1 again. And then it should go down here. Wait, what? No, we should not. I think it's because of this one here. Oh shit! Oh no! Now it's doing some other weird stupid shit. Oh my god! Sorry. All right. Well, let's try and see what happens here. I'm curious if it even works now. If it's some other shit. Well, it doesn't work out as much. Let me just try and set our row properly without any of this. There we go. Should be one row, two row, three row. Okay, very good. So it has a thing. See, what it makes a black arrow down there. Still has a target. Okay, then we can actually, I guess we can we can do something else, or do something even more green from where it's currently loaded. Oh wait, I should also do it properly. That would be really nice if we could do that. I'm just really curious how this prep works right now, or why this doesn't work right now. Oh wait, let me just remove this and then see if it. Okay, it's going to the net one, and then it just decides it does not want to be a part of this anymore. So I guess perhaps the issue is we don't something in here. I mean, it's also we also have been streaming for about an hour now, a little bit more. So perhaps it is indeed time to say thank you. But we did manage to get some things solved, and then it's created some new issues again. I really was not hoping to have to spend this long on a simple road building mechanism, right? Clearly a bunch of issues. So, but I'm curious, can I do it like this and then kind of boop, and then that's just that now. I guess so, right? We can also do like this, right? And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, everything's good. 4 rows, everything. Working with this also good. And this was good. This was fine. What was not fine? If I do this, I don't know. It seems like something weird happened before. But we can do more to ensure that these things don't happen as well. But we have a pretty decent setup, I would say. We can set. We can just try again. Yes, just see how they behave. Maybe they behave a little bit differently. This is interesting to me. Actually, now I just realized one thing that I think I can do. So if sub target is equal to target, target equals else, let's just put it properly, else this, let's see. So perhaps, because I have a feeling that it doesn't work because it's like some small frame where the values are not set properly. Mm. But what is the? I'm just gonna draw a thick ass line. Oh wait a minute. That's to the sub target. Uh, so that's not gonna be. That was not the one I actually wanted to do. It was this one. That's gonna be a thick ass line. So I just want to ensure that the target itself is not like. Hmm. I think instead of stopping the stream now, I will restart some. I will restart a couple of things, rebuild some of things. So we have, what do we have here? I want to can I open this again properly? There we go. So probably we have had some issues with this. That's fine. Okay. Okay. Current road, current lane, and then we're gonna also have a past node or current, let's say current road. It doesn't matter if it's the same lane. If you're going back and forth in the same road, that's not what we want to do. So past node is equal to this and past road. Okay. I think that's a good start. Okay. Then in here, I think honestly what I want to do is just only have these. Okay. And then we have if sub-target. So that's pretty simple. Okay. We might add some extra things to happen here in here if okay, when we just create, so the first sub-target is the first node. Let's just set that up. Okay, so we have a road and a house. It's walking towards it. And then now it's just walking, staying on this road. Okay, that's all good. All right. Then we can say, what's the next one? So now we should be able to get the road. But okay, so let's try and say here, if distance to point is larger than, let's just say 1, larger than 0, really. So now we can fully collide with it, I guess. Okay, so now it stops moving right there. Okay, then we set current node is equal to subtarget. Yeah, all right. Then we can say we can try and do this one again here. From the current to target. Let's try and see here. So it goes down there, it finds the correct one, it also saves the one there. Then it updates some values there, but it does not go any further. So I guess there is some kind of issue here that it's not able to return the end node exactly. Well, I guess for each road here. So if I mean, wouldn't this just be the solution then? Let's see. Hmm. Let me see how. I think perhaps we can do this again. So if there's multiple roads, if yeah, I mean this is fine. But why are we not choosing the actual end node here? Wait a minute. Oh, that's why. Well, I'm pretty happy I found that out. That probably explains a lot. Let's see. And now it's bouncing in between those two. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Very good. So in truth, what we want to do later is delete them or something. Just say now they're in the house. That could be the next part. And exit. So what I would actually love to see now it does the shit again. Let me just try and build a city again. That was annoying. So sometimes it does that. It's there, for example. Is it only the first time? Okay, and then there as well. So we should also be able to connect to do that thing, which we also have not fixed. So that should be another point. Let's just make a. Something doesn't work with these now. Why does that not work now? Okay, well, I'm just gonna make one road. We're gonna build one there. Okay, we're gonna build one there, and then we're gonna put one there. And then we'll see if we can find the way down from now. There from here. He was indeed unable to do so. Why was that? Nobody knows, I guess. Did we just fix that? Well, I'm tired now, so that was enough for today. Thank you for participating. It was an honor. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.